Hello YouTubers, this is the Noobifier, and today I'm going to break down what I feel the Defender means to Star Citizen and why I think it's the most important concept to date. Up to this point, our universe has included a growing range of ships tailored to specific tasks. We have a fleet of concepts and flight-ready ships with a guarantee of more to come. I feel it's important that players can select a wide range of weapon configurations that exactly matches what makes sense for the job. Up until now, no ship has added as many changes as the Banu Defender. Tachyon weapons, Terravan shield technology, and possible EMP missiles. On the subject of game balance, I want to mention the difference between balance and fair. Balance suggests equality or parity. An example of balance could be American NASCAR, otherwise known as Stock Car. This race series was created so all cars were equal. Being competitive would be fully up to the driver's skill. Today, very few would ever claim that it's perfectly neutral, but the original idea is still there. I believe saying ship balance or weapon balance in the context of a video game is a bit misleading. Consider how the word balance works when describing stats between a Javelin and those of a Super Hornet. A better term to describe them might be fair, based on the expected capabilities. It's fair and expected that a Vanguard would be stronger than a Sabre. I normally don't get too critical in my videos, however I've seen the Vanguard gradually become nothing like its original concept document. I feel it's important that the development team remembers that it's okay for some ships to be better than others. The Vanguard does not need to be made weaker just so that it's not considered overpowered. It's meant to be a powerful ship with large power plants, huge engines, and if you see one, it's okay for it to be feared in the verse. It was announced on concept as a durable deep space fighter, and people, including myself, pledged for it based on that description. It's become lethargic and not really much of a match for a standard fighter. Because it's new, I'm expecting the new Cutlass to launch strong, and then receive the same fate. CIG, just because a ship is stronger than another, does not mean it's not fair. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and I hope you understand that this is nothing more than my desire for adjustment. The Vanguard is currently just a bad value for the pledge price. I mention this because it's fair that a heavy fighter is stronger than a medium fighter, and I hope that we can get the fleet back in line with its original intended purpose. Moving on. When the Defender concept was announced, I felt that this ship was the most important ship to date because it brings with it some new alien tech. Its proposed features will change things for good, but I think that if it's done right and fair, it'll be for the better. The Defender is slated to come with Tachyon weapons. They were described as long range, very high velocity, and strong. I personally like lining up and taking long range shots, so what I really want to test out is a set of 4 size 3 Tachyons on an Aegis Sabre. Ensuring they're good should also ensure that they don't make other weapons irrelevant. Some people mentioned the term hit scan in the Q&A. The term is used in video games to describe a weapon that has no time of flight. This makes it very easy for the player to use, however it's very difficult to react to. We were assured that Tachyon weapons will have a very fast but not instantaneous velocity. On to the next possible game changer, which is Terravan shield technology. The Q&A explains something that didn't originally make sense, a concept. The Defender only has a size 2 shield, but it was also described as being very well shielded. It was clarified that Terravan tech is very advanced and very strong for its size. Once again, my mind wandered at the possibility of outfitting this tech onto other ships. Imagine being able to outfit a Sabre with a Terravan shield in the future. The idea is perfectly fair and can be balanced at a higher cost. The tech might be rare, and the extra protection will only be available to those pilots who are willing to spend the UEC. I find the idea of fully tricking out a ship very appealing. On numerous occasions it was mentioned that the grind in Star Citizen would be about the ships and not so much about the character. For the first time that statement made a little bit more sense, and I'm excited. The final thing that was spoken about was CIG was going to add EMP missiles to the Defender if possible and only if it made sense. The idea is interesting, but I understand their hesitation. Imagine a missile that can temporarily knock out guidance, thrusters, shields, or other systems. You should always have a fighting chance to defend against an attack. Your skill should give you that chance to survive. Here's a simple scenario which might illustrate why they're being careful. I have a Sabre on low power, shields reduced, with the weapons offline except for missiles. I sneak up on a ship undetected, target their engines, and when the time is right, ramp up to full power. Within 3 seconds I have 2 EMP missiles on the way, they hit and the unsuspecting ship is in full panic. They can't radio for help, they can't fly away, their shields are mostly useless, and their turrets might even be offline. I start firing 4 times size 3 weapons and I get a second set of missiles locked. Seconds before their systems return, I send the second set of missiles their way. I don't have to explain the rest of the scenario, I'm pretty sure you can see how this plays out. They had no chance to counterattack. Before an EMP missile is put into the verse, it would therefore make sense that CIG would want to think about its effect. So in closing, the Banu Defender is very exciting to me not only because of the ship, but because of the tech and weapons that it'll bring to the table. Its launch to flight state could be the biggest change in Arena Commander and the PU that we've seen so far. If you liked this video and got value out of it, I would appreciate you sharing it with a friend or orgmate. My goal is to grow this channel, and I can't do that without the help of citizens like you. Thanks for watching, fly safe, and I'll see you in the verse.